Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have got something that I thought I would experiment with, because as crafters we know we can have lots and lots and lots of toys, but we always have to spend a lot of money on them. So I was playing. This is the Stamperia Mixed Media Art Cream Paste. I have had it a very long time. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it wasn't cheap. And then this one here is made with the plaster of Paris, which you can get a box like this for a lot. Not that much money, but I have hardly used it and I've had it for a few years already. And then this one here I did with cornstarch. Just simple cornstarch, and that we might all have in our household. Big Costco size. So what I did was I, of course, did the first one here. And then this one here is the plaster of Paris. And I mixed in these paints. So this plaster of Paris is this old ivory, and the cornstarch one is milk white. These are a little thicker paints, that's why I used them. I think if you used a little thinner paint, you would just have to maybe add a little more cornstarch or whatnot. So this here is the consistency. I found this in the drawer. I have no clue what it is, but it's even got a little heart on it. I have no clue what it is. So anyways, as you can see, it's a nice creamy paste, and it actually worked really well, and it's not gritty. It doesn't seem too gritty anyways. Put this back on. How long this stuff lasts for, I don't know, but I do have plans of using this in the next while quite a bit. So it's not gritty. I think with baking soda it might be a little gritty, but this is really nice, and it stays on very nicely. So that's that one. And then this one is the cornstarch, and you can see this one is more of the paste, like the original, like the commercial brand. It's nice and smooth. And don't stick your finger in there. It's nice and smooth, and it too is not gritty, and it seems to stick onto the page pretty good. It feels nice, and they dry. This one of course dries first because it seems to go on a little thinner. You get a little more texture on these ones, but they don't crack, and of course that one doesn't crack. So that's good to know. And then this one here, you can see, this is the commercial one, you can see where I put it over the ink here, it's coming through. It's leaked through. And on these two, it hasn't at all. So let me show you what I did. These little Dollar Tree containers, I think you get 4 of them for $1.50 or something like that. So my recipe that I used is right here. I'll try to keep it, I'll show you later anyways. So I used just regular school glue. This one I got from Amazon 2 years ago, and I'm just about halfway through, a little less than half. So I put on here 1 tablespoon of glue. So my measurements, this one here is half a tablespoon. So I have to use 2 of these. So I'm just going to get my glue out. One. And 2. Bloop, bloop. Oops. That's okay. That's okay. I found that you don't have to be exact. A little off, it's okay. As you can tell, I wasn't exact with everything, but okay. And then you need 2 tablespoons of paint. Now this paint that I used here was a really thick paint. This one here is a gold metallic, spun gold, and this is my favorite gold paint. In fact, I accidentally bought 2 because I thought maybe I was getting low or something, I don't know. So I got 2 of these, and so this one's a little thinner, so I might have to use a little more of the, I'm going to use the cornstarch. Am I going to use cornstarch? I'm going to use cornstarch. I like that. So this says I need, on my recipe, that I need 2 tablespoons. So I need 4 of these because I'm working with a half a tablespoon. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to do, see what the gold metallic would look like. I think it would be fun because, you know, the season is coming up for gold. I love gold. Well, there's never a season for gold for me. I just use it all the time. So that's 2. 3. Now, if this stuff lasts for a little while, I think as long as you keep it in a tightly sealed container. Once I'm done here, I'm going to wipe those containers off and clean the lids and make sure that there's nothing that's going to deter them from sealing. So there we go. We got that in there. So that's our 4 half tablespoons equaling 2 tablespoons. And then I'm going to take this little, whatever this thing is, and I'm going to stir this up. Oh, that's pretty. I wonder what's going to happen when I add that. Oh gosh, that's pretty. Oh, just my favorite color of gold. It's not that yellowy one. I guess I should put the lid on here, shouldn't I? Okay. So I've got this mixed up pretty good. And then I'm going to take my cornstarch, and I'm going to put 4 tablespoons in there, but I'm going to add them one at a time. And when I say tablespoons, I don't do the leveling. I just kind of I just shake them until I think they're somewhat. Are they exact? Probably not. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. I cook that way too, or bake that way. A little of this, a little of that. A lot of stirring, but honestly, if you can get away from making it for what, a couple tablespoons of paint and a tablespoon of glue and some cornstarch or some of that, like that's a lot cheaper than trying to buy it. And if you, this seems to be that you can pretty much use any color of paint you want. You don't have to be, doesn't have to be the colors I've used. You can use whatever colors you like, which kind of makes it nice too. And if you want to paint over it, well, just use your white and do it, and then paint over your whole page or whatever it is that you're planning on doing. So that was 3. I took this morning, because I was busy getting ready for that workshop and busy making journals, I had one heck of a big mess in here. Big mess. So then I decided this morning that before I do anything else, I'm going to get this cleaned up. And then because the way my desk was, I didn't have a lot of camera room. I hope I'm in view. I'm assuming I'm in view, because if I'm not, I'm going to have to redo this, and then, well, I'll have to make up more. That's okay. And So now I move things around so I have more camera space or viewing space. And you can see more of what I'm doing instead of me having to have it so close. So hopefully this works. You can give me a thumbs up if it works. If there's anything that you would like to see me try out, instead of you going and buying the real McCoy, see if there's a DIY that works for it, and let me know in the comments. I'm willing to play. I'm going to be visiting my granddaughters all next week, so I'm going to be pretty quiet on here. But I will certainly, when I get back, I will certainly give it a go. Now, when I did the first two, I let them sit while I cleaned things up. I'm not going to do that. And I can't pause because I'm on my phone and I haven't figured out how to do that. So, oh, I guess I could just cut it, couldn't I? Could I just cut it? I could. But I don't want to. I don't know. I'm not that experienced. So I don't want to do things that mess up. So I'm going to add just a little bit more because I want it a little thicker so I can get busy with it. So we're just going to do that. I added about a half a tablespoon to that. But I'm not going to add no more. Because as you can tell, as it sits, it gets nice and thick. But my paint, this paint was also thinner too. So we want to make sure that we get that same type of consistency, because I really I like that other one that was made with the cornstarch. It was nice and creamy and thicker. They both were good. If you have plaster of Paris and you like that one, use that. If you want to use it up, whatever. If you don't have that but you have cornstarch, use that one. That works too. This kind of doesn't have the texture of that pretty gold, does it? It looks more like it's, I don't know, what, mud? Oh, dear. Oh, well, we'll see what it looks like when it dries, right? Now, I won't be able to talk through that one, but... Okay, so I'm just going to let this sit a little bit. And I was going to tell you something while I was letting it sit for a little bit to just get a little thicker. I'm going to get this out of the way, put my glue away. And, oh, that's what I can tell you. I am using for my trial base here, I'm using the week number, I think 40 or 41 Thankful Thursdays of Wild Rose Bohemian. So if you are a Facebook member, go grab them because they're very pretty. And if you're not a Facebook member, how come? You just have to follow, go into my link tree in the comments there or in the description. And you can find all the links there for that. And come join us. We have some fun things going on. Okay, so... this is not quite where I want it to be yet, but it's pretty darn close, and I think it's going to work. So I took, let's see, I'm going to do this one. And I was using this. It actually works pretty good. Normally I would clean this up, but I don't want to make you wait while I'm cleaning it up. So I'm just going to use it as is. I'm going to go for it. If I was working on a bigger surface, I would use a credit card, but this one seems to work pretty good. So I'm just going to, when it's wet, that's when you could take and put your glitter on there. I couldn't find mine, so I just left it, and I figured I'd do the gold instead. So, and then we pick it up straight up, and there we go. Look how pretty that is. Oh, and there is a little bit of a glitter in there. Now, of course, I can't show you what, I can maybe show you a little later in a little picture as to what it looks like when it's dry. But it's very simple to use, and it's nice and clear. It stays where you put it. I really like that. And it's very inexpensive. And so that is basically it. Sophie's recommendation, the DIY works. Use my little recipe there. The original recipe had, it was big, like it made a lot, and it dried out, and I couldn't use it all up fast enough. This is a nice amount, I think. Is it something that, well, when you look at it, and if you figure this costs about 20 bucks when I bought it, and you figure this probably cost, oh, I don't know, we'll say $4. How's that? We'll say $4. So that's a big savings. Even if it only lasts you half the time, it's okay, because it didn't cost you that much. You're not throwing away, a big, like, expensive stuff. Okay, so the recipe that I used and the way I broke it down is just 1 tablespoon of glue, and it's just any white glue. As you can tell, I just used that big jug. It's not a really thick white glue. It's just the normal white glue. And then 2 tablespoons of paint. Your thicker paints are better, but the other paints are just fine, because then you just add a little bit more to thicken it up. And that's what I had to do with this one. This one was thin compared to those ones. And so I had to add that little extra half a tablespoon to it to get it to the nice consistency. So there you go, 4 tablespoons of plaster of Paris or cornstarch. Let me put that in there. I'm going to take a screenshot of it. I'll leave it up here for a bit. And go or. Does that make sense? Let's put it this way. Or cornstarch. So there it is. That was the easy peasy part of it and my quick video for today. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and we'll see you again soon. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe if you're just wandering in here. And if you're one of my subscribers, well, thank you for joining me once again. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.